Matt's at the coroner to identify his father's deceased body. Matt knows the life his father was leading and what he was forced to do in order to protect and provide for himself and Matt. Matt's pretending to be ignorant of what led to Jack's early death. The coroner has Matt touch the body of Jack as to identify him. Jack is cold to the touch, but not as cold as what's growing in Matt's belly. Vengeance. Matt knows the smells and the sounds of the killers, as Matt would constantly spy on his father's illegal ongoings. He set his sight first upon two thugs that were involved with the killing, Mikhail and Gillian. They're walking along the sidewalk and drinking from a bottle of liquor, bragging about some exploit upon a woman just prior. The tapping of a cane is heard, and behind it a voice tells them to drink up. They'll need it to handle the pain. They hear the voice and then wonder to themselves who would be foolish enough to mess with the two prestigious criminals. The voice came from a nearby alleyway. One man pulls out a knife, the other breaks the liquor bottle as to create an improvised knife. It's pitch black in the alleyway. Neither of the men can see. They assume whoever the voice was shouldn't be able to see either, but we know different. They travel into the dark alley. The two men are brutally beaten. About an hour later, an anonymous tip is called into the police to check on the two men. Even in his revenge-filled state, he holds a thread of his humanity still. The men claim the beating was from Jack Murdoch, but he's dead, they say. We killed him, they say. Matt's next two targets are at a boxing gym. Slade and Slick are their names. Slade beats away on a heavy bag while Slick cleans under his fingernails. The lights go out. Slick remarks how much he hates the dark. Slade hears the thud and investigates. He nearly trips over Slick's motionless body. Slade inspects the damage done to Slick and notices a masked man in red is standing in the boxing ring. He's holding a bat in hand and tempts Slade to enter the ring with him. Slade hesitates. Matt throws the bat away behind him and offers Slade entry into the ring again. Slade obliges the masked Matt and enters the ring. Matt is filled with the memories of all the beatings he took, all the fights he could have won if he only fought back. Matt didn't fight as per his father's wishes, but Jack was gone now, and the man in front of him is one of the reasons for that. No more holding back, Matt thinks to himself. He's finally going to fight back. Before Slade can react, Matt sends a low side kick into Slade's knee, destroying his knee. Slade screams in agony. His breathing becomes frantic. The taste of blood filled the air. The smell of panic filled his blood. Matt equips a roll of pennies into his clenched fist and beats Slade in the mouth until the pennies shatter in Matt's enclosed fist. Matt notices another man enter the gym. He hears a raspy air intake to the lungs, the scent of cigarettes and expensive aftershave at the door. It's the Fixer himself. The Fixer immediately flees the scene, but Matt does not chase him. He continues to indulge himself in the current beating of Slade and sends another kick into Slade's guts. As Matt is dishing out Slade's much-deserved beating, he listens intently to the Fixer running down the stairs. Even harder do the Fixer's lungs begin to struggle for air as he scurries down stair after stair. Matt's still beating on Slade all the meanwhile. The Fixer calls out to Angelo, his driver, to quickly get them out of there as he exits the building. Matt hears everything. Those are the final two responsible for his father's untimely death. Tracking the limo's engine is easy to distinguish from all the traffic of the streets as Matt traverses rooftop to rooftop and continues trailing the vehicle. The Fixer's uncontrollable cough makes it much easier. Matt is thankful for Stick's teachings more than ever in this moment. As Matt is chasing the limo from rooftop to rooftop, he wonders to himself if Stick will hate him for this, but the cold part of him takes control again and he continues his acrobatic pursuit. Matt leaps off the roof and 4-point lands himself on the top of the limo. Then Matt crashes his baseball bat through the windshield, the Virgin Mary onlooking the incident. It's a figure placed on the dash of the limo. The car crashes and flings Matt to the ground, causing his skull to smash into the pavement. Just a moment lost, he thinks to himself. The Fixer scurries down the subway. The driver flees, continuing down the sidewalk. Matt is dizzy and his mouth filled with blood, but that's not going to distract him from his mission. He hones in on the Fixer's heartbeat as he's running down the steps leading to the subway. Its beats are fast and weak as his lungs still force him to cough. The train arrives and blasts its deafening horn, causing Matt to lose focus. Matt suffers through the discombobulating sounds until the horn ends, and it's then that he hears the sound of a revolver being cocked, along with it the poor heartbeat and raspy lungs of the Fixer. The Fixer, cornered in fear, is aiming his revolver at Matt. His heart pounds harder. It flutters, then stops. The gun falls from his hand and clanks to the hard cement. The Fixer falls to the ground and slumps over as his heart gives one last pathetic beat. Matt stands over the lifeless Fixer and thinks to himself, one more. Angelo, the driver. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Slade and Slick are covered in bandages from the beating Matt gave to them. They claim to the police that it was Jack Murdoch. He could see in the dark and had 6 arms, they say. The detective shrugs it off sarcastically, saying it's either a ghost, they're hitting the sauce too hard, or we have a vigilante on our hands. Matt overlooks a sleazy party going on the top floor of an apartment building. It's filled with perfumes and women who practice in passion. The women of the night assure Angelo that he's safe there, and it must have been some crazed man who attacked them, with no connection. In that moment, Matt comes crashing crashing through the window directly behind Angelo, grappling him. The sleazy women shout out, "That's no cop, kill him!" They all attack Matt. His senses are confused by the obnoxious hooker-flavored perfumes. Matt thrashes out in a manner of confused survival and sends one of the sleazy workers of false passion through a window. She smashes into the pavement several stories down, her bones crunch and her blood spatters around her. Matt is filled with regret as he didn't mean to punch her out of the window, thusly killing her. He rushes to the basement where Stick trained him, but Stick is not there. Matt searches Jack's boxing gym as maybe Stick is there. No, still no Stick. Matt screams for Stick until his voice is hoarse and croaking as if it were filled with sand. Surrounded by the stale smell of sweat and echoes of past glory, Matt curls up and whispers, "Stick." Still no answer. Blocks away, Stick is conversing with the shadowed figure. The figure wants to recruit Matt to some sort of cause. Stick denies the figure, telling him Matt is undisciplined and emotional. Just look what he did tonight. The figure's name is revealed as Stone. Stone explains that him and Stick are the only thing protecting the world from a mystic darkness. The only hope aside from Matt was a woman named Elektra, but the darkness has compromised her. Stone is desperate, but Stick won't allow his desperation to compromise their order. Matt has failed and is now utterly useless to their order, Stick says. 1 year later, at Columbia University, a freshman by the name of Franklin Nelson is being chased through the campus streets by a car filled with 2 other college students. They catch up with Franklin Nelson and give him a black eye. Foggy's called. Franklin gets home to his dorm and confers with his roommate, which is Matt. This isn't the first time Brad has bullied Foggy. Foggy claims to never have done anything to Brad, and Matt believes him and replies, "Bullies rarely need a reason." The next day, Brad is bullying Foggy again, but during the night, Matt kidnaps Brad, tying him up and carrying him from rooftop to rooftop, dangling him off the edge of a building, and stripped him down to his underwear to spend the rest of the night in the snow, offering a unique chance to rethink his behavior. Brad's behavior does change, and a lesson is learned. Foggy is constantly uneasy, even when Brad isn't bullying him, as to display the psychological effect Brad's bullying had on Foggy. Brad approaches Foggy the next day and apologizes. Foggy forgives him and tells Matt he wishes he could have seen his face during the apology. Matt agrees. He wishes he could have seen his face too. A young woman named Kathy tries to get Matt to help her with her studies, but Matt knows she's lying and also knows what she's really after. That Daredevil D. But Matt can't let himself get emotionally involved. The cost of emotion was too great. Foggy and Matt head back to their dorm. Foggy falls asleep while watching Star Trek, but Matt isn't sleepy. He's only just now coming alive as all others go to sleep. Matt throws a boot at the plug-in for the TV as to turn it off, but it wasn't the noise of the TV or Foggy's snoring that was keeping Matt awake. It was everything outside his room. He will listen to the snow falling and hitting branches from trees. The noise caused a clattering battle of sound to Matt. He stays awake, listening to all the ongoings of the city that never sleeps. The sounds never cease. Matt adorns a black sweatshirt and sweatpants and begins leaping from building to building like he used to with Stick. His acrobatics have never been so flawless and skillful. Matt catches the scent of a woman's fragrance, but on the rooftops with him, he wonders. He senses a strong pulse as the woman traverses the rooftops, with steps as light as a cat. He begins tracking her and following the scent. The woman's scent falls off the building, and Matt follows, landing in a pile of trash. He's lost her scent through all the garbage. A cat hisses at him. "Not her," he says. The woman replies, "No," and chuckles as if to taunt Matt and draw him to her. Matt chases her across the street and attempts to jump over a taxi cab, but the taxi light catches Matt's foot, sending him tumbling into the snow. As Matt's picking himself up, he hears a call for help by a chilling scream. As Matt's running towards the sound of the scream, he passes by articles of clothing spread along the ground. A pair of panties dangle from a branch. The clothes share the same scent of the woman he was chasing from the rooftops. As Matt is listening for more clues to the situation, 2 cops also responding to the blood-chilling screams approach the scene and assume Matt is their culprit. They tell him to freeze! Don't move a muscle! Matt thinks to run. Matt thinks to flatten the cops, as it would be easy for him. But it would be breaking the rules. Law and rule are the only thing holding Matt from becoming a villain. Without his father's lessons to Matt, he surely would fall to a darker path. Matt remembers the last time he lost control. A woman paid with her life as she made a pathetic prayer to God while falling to her death. Matt surrenders himself to the police. The woman is revealed to have stripped off her clothing and is putting it back on as Matt is being questioned by the officers. The officers find no trace of the woman and realize Matt is blind. They simply chalk it up to the crazy city being crazy. The next day, Foggy is praising Matt's ability to have the energy to study and do well in his schoolings. Meanwhile, Foggy struggles. Matt suggests Foggy turn off the TV, but Foggy's having none of that. Suddenly, a woman in a red sports car screeches in front of Foggy and Matt and slams on the brakes, stopping directly in front of the 2 men. Matt doesn't waste a second of hesitation and jumps into the sports car holding the provocative woman. Foggy, dumbfounded, wondering what just happened as the car speeds off through the snow-filled city. Her driving is erratic and would scare anybody. It's been so long since Matt felt any fear, and he wants to to enjoy this. The air is thin and the snow is pelting their skin. Matt suggests put the roof up. The woman simply responds, "Why?" At that moment, the car bursts through the guardrails of the road and continues speeding through the snow towards the edge of a cliff. Matt's heart is pounding. It feels great to him. The woman hits the brakes and maneuvers the car as to not fly off the cliff, resulting in their certain death. She gets out of the now stopped car barefoot in a dress, snow still pouring over them. "This is where we belong. Always on the brink," she says. She leans in close to Matt, as if to almost kiss him. Surprisingly, she leaps backwards off the cliff. Matt's reminded of the worker of passion who he had sent falling in a similar fashion. The end. Another awesome read through, gents. I'm excited to get to the next one. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in issue 3.